Hi there, and welcome back to the First Time Homebuyer Guide. If you've made it this far in the series, first of all, congratulations. You've already done the hard work. You've asked yourself, am I really ready to buy? You figured out how much you could actually afford. You learned what to know before touring homes, how to make a strong offer, and what happens once you go under contract. We've covered the mortgage process, the title process, all the big pieces. And now, you're just days away from closing. This is the final countdown. The last few days before closing can feel overwhelming, but they don't have to. Today, I'm walking you through what to expect 5 days before closing, the closing day itself, and avoiding last-minute surprises so you can head into this final step feeling calm, prepared, and totally in control. Let's take a deep breath and dive in. 5 days before closing, the final prep checklist. This is where the finish line starts coming into focus. Here's what to knock out in those final 5 days. Double check the appointment. Make sure you've got the correct time, address, and you know who needs to be there. If you're buying with a spouse or a co-buyer, they need to attend if they're on the title. Homeowners insurance. Your lender needs proof of insurance before you close. Have your policy ready and confirm it's active on or before the day of closing. Review your closing disclosure, the CD. By law, your lender must send this at least 3 business days before you close. It shows the final loan terms, monthly payment, all closing costs, and total cash to close. Compare it to your original loan estimate and ask questions. Don't assume it's all correct. Review your ALTA settlement statement. Usually sent the day before closing, the ALTA, American Land Title Association statement, is a detailed breakdown of all the final costs from both the buyer and the seller's side. This is a document that confirms exactly how much money you need to bring to closing. Take your time reviewing it, and don't worry, your agent or I will go over it as well. We will make sure everything looks correct before you send your wire or show up to the closing table. Confirm all documents are in. Stay in touch with your lender. They might need a last-minute pay stub or an updated bank statement. Respond quickly, even to the little things. Wiring instructions and cash to close. Contact your title company directly, and I mean by phone, not email, to confirm the amount due and how to send it. Then send your wire at least 1 day in advance if possible. Bring a valid ID, unexpired photo ID. If both you and your spouse are signing, make sure both IDs are ready. Coordinate your utilities and set up service transfers. Don't wait until move-in day to get the lights turned on. Some utility companies require your ALTA settlement statement to set up new services. And services like internet often can't be installed until power is active. If possible, coordinate with the seller to keep the utilities on for a day or 2 after closing. It gives you a smoother handoff and avoids gaps in service and keeps you from unpacking in the dark. Ask the seller the utilities they use as well too, or your agent can ask the seller for you. And clarify who provides what, especially if your area has multiple service providers. Here's a list to go through. Electricity, the power company. Gas, for heat, stove, or water heater if applicable. Water, city, county, or district managed. Sewer can be billed separately from water. trash and recycle pickup, internet and or cable, which may need to be scheduled for the install, the HOA dues. Ask how and when they are paid if they are not through escrow. And in some areas, you might even get 2 water bills, like me. One for the water coming into the home, and the other one for the water going out, your sewer and storm drainage. Don't be afraid to ask. It's better to know now than be surprised later. Schedule your final walkthrough. Usually 24 to 48 hours before closing, you'll want to make sure you'll want to make sure during the final walkthrough that any agreed upon repairs are complete. Confirm the home is in the same condition as when you went under contract. Test the appliances, lights, plumbing, and the AC. Check that there is no new damage during the move out. And make sure the seller has fully moved out. The closing day belongs to you. The seller should no longer be living in the home, unless otherwise agreed upon in writing. The home should be completely vacant and ready for move-in. And just a heads up, the final walkthrough isn't another inspection. It's simply to check to make sure the home is as promised. The closing day is finally here. And yes, it's okay to be a little nervous. Don't worry, you're not doing it alone. Here's what to expect. What to bring: your valid ID, cashier's check, or proof of your wire, and any last-minute documents your lender or title company asks for. Copies of your CD and ALTA, just in case you want to double-check the numbers at the table. Who you will see: a title agent, possibly your lender or their rep, possibly the seller and the agent. And of course, I'll be there to support you every step of the way. What will you do? You will sign a stack of documents. Don't worry, we'll walk through it. Here's the main ones you will see at the closing table. The mortgage note. This is your official promise to repay the loan. It includes your loan amount, interest rate, and payment terms. Deed of trust, or mortgage. This document gives the lender the right to take the home if the loan isn't repaid. It secures the note using the home as collateral. Closing disclosure, CD. You've seen this one already. You'll sign it again to confirm the final terms, costs, and the cash you brought to close. Warranty deed or title transfer document. This officially transfers homeownership of the home to you. I lost my place. There it is. Affidavit and disclosures. These may include things like confirming you will live in the home, that all the information is accurate, and other standard legal language. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to pause and say, "Can you explain this one again?" Then you submit your funds, either already wired or by certified check. And finally, you get the keys. Sometimes this happens right at the table. Sometimes it's later in the day once the funding is complete. Either way, the home is yours. And one more thing, don't forget to celebrate. Whether it's champagne at the closing table, pizza on the floor in front of the fireplace, or just a quiet moment in an empty room, take it in. You did it. That's huge. Now, avoiding last-minute surprises. Here's how to stay ahead of them. Wire fraud. Never trust emailed wired instructions unless you've confirmed them by phone with your title rep. This is a huge area for scams. Protect yourself. Missing documents. A missing pay stub or document can delay funding. If your lender or title company emails you, don't wait. Respond quickly. Weather or emergencies. If a storm hits or there's a natural disaster, hurricane, right before closing, your lender may require a re-inspect. It is rare, but it happens. Having a short-term housing backup plan isn't a bad idea. Unexpected fees or errors. Don't be afraid to request your documents in advance, especially if you want time to review before signing. You can ask for clarification. This is your transaction. Possession confusion. Unless it is spelled out in your contract, the seller should be fully moved out by closing. If there is a post-occupancy agreement, meaning the seller stays in the home for a few days after closing, make sure it is clear in writing with dates and insurance coverage details. Okay, so if you've been watching this whole series and you feel there's anything we've missed or something still feels unclear, drop your questions in the comments below. I'm wrapping up this series with a final Q&A episode just for you. I'd love to make sure your voice is a part of it, so don't be shy. You've made it through every step of the home buying journey. From the very first question, am I ready, all the way to the closing table. And now, you're a homeowner. And hey, when the time comes for you to sell that home and move on to the next adventure, I've got something for that too. I'm putting together a first-time seller series because selling your home for the first time, well, that's a whole new experience with its own curveballs. And just like this guide, I'll walk you through every step. So when you're ready, I'll be right here. And if this series has helped you feel more confident, more prepared, or just less stressed, share it with a friend, a coworker, a cousin who's thinking about buying, because no one should go through the process without a little bit of support and a solid plan. Thanks again for trusting me to guide you through this part of your story. I can't wait to see what's next for you. Until then, take it one step at a time. You've already come so far, and I promise you've got this. Oh, and don't disappear on me just yet. In the next video is all about what happens after the keys are in your hand, packing, moving, things to take care of in the first week, and what to do in month 1. So if you're still with me, there's still some really good stuff waiting for you in the last 3 episodes.